Good evening, students. We'll wait for 2-3 minutes for others and then we'll start. Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Let's start. As you can see, we will be doing straight lines. As you all know, welcome back again. Yesterday we completed sequence and series. So today we'll be starting with straight lines. 1 second, let me. Yeah. So let's start. I hope you're all doing fine. Welcome back. So, first thing here is a chapter we'll be starting today. I hope you know some basics of straight lines already from your 9th and 10th standard. If not, still we will cover in this. So, let me tell you that today we plan to cover slope of a line, or we'll do three parts. That is introduction, slope of line, and equation of line in various forms. So as you can see here, yeah. So introduction means what is a line. We'll see how to define a straight line. Then we'll move to slope of a line, which you have already done in your 10th standard, and then we'll see equation of line in various forms. In various forms, equation of line will not be able to cover each and every form. I think we'll cover two forms, slope point form and 2-point form. So without further ado, let's get started. I hope my voice and all is clear. If yes, you can give me a thumbs up so we can proceed further. All good? Okay, superb. So let's start with the first topic, which is introduction. Let's see what is meant by a straight line. So, yeah. So we all know what is the definition of straight line, but still to formally define a straight line, you can say that if there are 2 points on xy plane and if we try to join them, then the figure or then the curve that we get is called a straight line. Correct? Let's see further. This is straight line. Notation. Now, we don't talk about notation much in straight line, but still it's theory part, so we'll cover it again. So, AB is the distance between A and B. AB and the dash over AB is called line segment joining AB. So you can guess what is meant by, how do we denote straight line? We'll denote the straight line by AB and vector. This is a vector as you have studied. This is the notation of a vector. You must have studied in physics. And this is the notation of a straight line. Not that we will be going to use it exclusively, but still let's see next. Slope of a line. Now here is where the real chapter starts. We got through some the technicalities of what notation and all, but here is where the real chapter starts, which is slope of a straight line. Now, according to like in all the books, we can see or we can find slope using various methods, but the slope we can, or slope is generated from something called inclination. So let's see what is meant by inclination. So here it is inclination का definition. क्या definition है? If a line makes angle theta where theta is between 0 to pi, theta is between 0 to pi, with x-axis in positive. Positive means anti-clockwise direction. Then this theta is called inclination. So again, let's see. So this is the straight line. If I see this is the positive x-axis. If I see the angle made by positive x-axis in anti-clockwise sense, let me give the arrow so that we know that we measured it in anti-clockwise sense. So this angle theta is called inclination. Now inclination lies between 0 to 180. Got it? Let's see what other things we have. Theta is called inclination. What is slope of a line? I hope you know what is meant by slope. Many a times on roads or in bridges we have seen कि road is slightly slant or slightly slant for to go upwards to the bridge. So the angle made by this or the position of slanting कि कितना slant है, this is basically the slope. So the slope word is derived from that. So here we can see the same thing. लाइन एक्स एक्सिस से कितना एंगल बना रहा है. So let's see what we have next. Slope of the line is given by tan theta, where theta is inclination. Let me write it again here. Slope is generally denoted by small m, and this is equals to tan theta. So the first definition of slope that we got is tan theta. There are many other definitions also, but for now let us keep here, which is tan theta. The other definitions are derived from this. Got it? Let's see what we have next. This is all revision part. I hope you remember some of it from your 9th standard NCERT. Let's see some example. The first one. If the inclination of the line is 60 degrees, that is, it makes 60 degrees with positive x-axis, then the slope will be equals to tan 60. And what is tan 60? It is root 3. Similarly, if I have the slope, that is slope of the line is 1, that means tan theta is 1. And for what value of theta do we get tan theta equals to 1? We get for theta equals to 45 degree. So the inclination is 45 degree. So it works both ways. This is a very simple thing to understand here. These 4 notes, that is slope of x-axis. Now x-axis itself makes angle with itself 0 degree. So that means slope will be tan 0, which is 0. Again, let me tell you, any line parallel to x-axis. So if this is x-axis and I draw any line parallel to x-axis, then these two makes angle 0 degrees with x-axis, and again slope of its line will be 0. So here the first 2 points says that combined, if I say that the slope of line parallel to x-axis and the slope of x-axis is basically 0. Now you can already see, or you cannot see, I think, yeah. So you can guess what will be the slope of y-axis or line parallel to y-axis. As you can see, inclination is 90 degree. So if we try to calculate slope, it will be tan 90. And as we all know, tan 90 is not defined. So a line parallel to y-axis or y-axis itself will have a slope of not defined, or will have slope not defined. Correct? Let's see what we have next for the slope. Yeah, this is also a famous definition of slope. As you all must know that obviously a line, if passes through 2 points, one of the point is x1 comma y1 and the other point is x2 comma y2, then I can also write slope as y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. You all know this formula. Let me ask you, do you know how this formula came, or how this formula came? We'll talk about it, but do you all know how this formula came? If you know, give me a thumbs up, or not. No, nobody knows. Okay, Rajesh knows. Superb. Very good. Mahesh also knows. Very good. So I think others do not know. Yeah. So as I told you, the all the other definitions of slope, such as this one, the main idea or all these definitions are derived from our original definition, which is inclination. So if you all want to see how the slope came, then okay, let's first, here is the example. So let's first try to solve the example. Very simple. So this point is x1, y1. Let this point be x2, y2. So as we know, slope of the line is y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. So just substitute the values. So I'll get 4 minus 3 upon minus 3 minus 2. Correct? Which is equals to 1 upon minus 5. This is my slope. Simple. So I am showing you how the formula came. Let's say I have a straight line like this where I have 2 points. That is x1, y1 and x2, y2. So let's say this point be x1, y1 and this point be x2, y2. So if this point is x2 comma y2, then we can see this distance is y2. This distance will be x2. This is the angle theta. This is the angle theta. And if this point is x1 comma y1, then again this distance is y1 and this distance is x1. So you can see this triangle, let me name it A, B, C. This triangle ABC is a right angle triangle, and we know that in a right angle triangle, tan theta is opposite upon hypotenuse. So what is the opposite side? Opposite side is BC upon hypotenuse is, sorry, I think, yeah, opposite upon adjacent, right? Opposite upon adjacent. What is adjacent side? It is AB. And from the diagram, you can clearly see this whole part. This whole part is y2. This part is y1. This whole is y2. This is y1. So what will be this? BC. BC will be y2 minus y1. And similarly, this part is x2. This is x1. So what will be AB? AB will be x2 minus x1. And what is slope equals to? Slope is basically tan theta. So this is how we get the formula of slope, which is y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. You can see again, it is very basic thing. You must know this because we will be using such geometries or such types of diagrams in questions of straight line. Did you understood this? If yes, give me a thumbs up so we can move further. Right, guys? Okay, superb, super. Chalo. Let's see what we have next. Yeah. These things are important for slopes. Like basically these are some note points related to slope. What does it say is two non-vertical lines are parallel if their slopes are equal. Obviously, if two lines are parallel, then they will be making the same angle with x-axis. And if they are making the same angle with x-axis, that means the slope will be same. This will be also theta, this will also be theta. Second thing is if two lines are perpendicular, then product of their slopes is -1. Here you can see m1 into m2 equals to -1. I will not, I am not going deep why m1, m2 -1. I think you all know that. So if you do not know, you can say in the chat box. We'll see how m1, m2 equals to -1, or else we'll have to wait till we get to the part of angle between two lines. There also I can show you why if two lines are perpendicular, the product of slope, that is m1 into m2, is minus. So from here we can say that if slope of one of the line is m, then what will be the slope of the line perpendicular to m? It will be -1 by m. Why? Because if I multiply these two, I'll get -1. Correct? And since both the lines are perpendicular, their product should be -1. So here are some notes you should remember about straight line or slope, you can say. Let's see what we have next. We have example. That is, I like to say it as negative reciprocal. Negative reciprocal means we reciprocal it and also add a negative sign. That means if 2 by 3 is slope of a line, then slope of line perpendicular to this will be reciprocal it and add a negative sign, which is -3 by 2. You can see here. This is very simple to understand. Like this is basically the acute angle or obtuse angle. If whenever two lines intersect, they form two angles. This is the acute angle, this is the obtuse angle. So if suppose let's say theta is an acute angle, this is an acute angle, so this will be pi minus theta because this total is a linear pair which is pi. So again a good to remember point. We have some more. Now this is the angle between two lines. We will do angle between two lines in detail once we cover that topic, but let's say for just for the sake of understanding, we are introducing it here only. If theta is angle between the two straight lines where m1 and m2 are slope of that line, then I can say tan theta is plus or minus. Why plus or minus? Because as we saw in the previous slide, the angle can be acute as well as obtuse. So if the angle is obtuse, that means the angle, or that means the theta will be in the second quadrant, right? Obtuse means 90 to 180. So if my angle is obtuse, that means theta second quadrant, that will be tan theta make negative. That will make tan theta negative. That's why we have to add both plus and minus. Obviously, if we want to find the acute angle, then we'll use plus, and if we want to find the obtuse angle, then we'll use minus. Correct? So as you can see, the next point is that only if we want to use acute angle, then we simply put mod because we want only positive value as tan theta is positive in the first quadrant. So try to remember this formula if, or obviously we'll have to remember this formula. We'll do it in detail once the angle between straight lines topic comes. Correct? Okay. Let's say if we want to find an angle between two lines, then we find the acute angle, because once we get the acute angle, we can use pi minus theta to get the obtuse angle. Let's look at this one. Find the angle between lines having slope this. So let's say this, yeah, let's say this slope is m1 and this slope is m2. So what was tan theta? Acute angle if I want to find m1 minus m2. So this will become plus 3 by 4 upon 1 minus m1 into m2. This was minus, this will become plus. No, it will become minus, no? 1 plus. Yeah. So if I try to take LCM, I'll get mod of 4 plus 3 upon 28 upon here 28 minus 3 upon 28. This will get cancelled. So basically, I will be left with 7 upon 25. What is the value of tan theta? So I'll get theta equals to tan inverse of 7 upon 25. We don't need mod here because we know or we made sure that the quantity is positive. So that means I'll get the acute angle. Let's look at the next part, which is equation of a line. Now, to get equation of a line, as you may have studied previously, we have various forms of equation of a line. Some of them are slope point form, 2-point form, slope intercept form. You must have heard that, and also you must have studied them also. But let's again look at the various forms of equation of line, starting with slope point form. Now, again, let me tell you, slope point form is a basic form which I prefer to use every time the question asks me to find equation of line. Every time when the question asks to find equation of line, I prefer to use slope point form because all the other forms that we will see are all derived from slope point form. Got it? All the other forms are derived from slope point form. So if we know slope point form, then that means we can solve or we can get any equation of line. So that's why I personally prefer to solve the equation of line only by using slope point. So let's see what is slope point form. As the name suggests, to use the slope point form, we need two things, slope and point. Slope and point. Here you can see the point is x1 comma y1. What will be the slope? Slope is m, right? So I hope you know what is slope point form. Before doing slope point form, let's see this, some notes, general notes, which says the equation of horizontal line. Horizontal line means a line parallel to x-axis will be y equals to y1, where it is passing through x1 comma y1. And similarly, you can see equation of x-axis. Now we know x-axis passes through 0 comma 0, that is origin. So you can say what will be the equation of x-axis? It will be y equals to 0. Similarly, you can say equation of y-axis. This is an example. Suppose the equation of horizontal line which passes through the point 2 comma 3. That will be y equals to 3. Right, guys? So similarly, we can say what will be the equation of vertical line, or you can say line parallel to y-axis. And you, if you guessed it, it is correct. It will be x equals to x1. Parallel to x-axis, y equals to y1. Parallel to y-axis, x equals to x1, where x1 comma y1 is the point through which the line passes. So let's say the equation of y-axis again will be 0. What we have here? X equals to 2y, because this is x1, this is y1. So x equals to x1. That means x equals to 2 will be the equation of line. I think this is all a revision of your 10th standard. But still, same here. This is x1, this is y1. Equation will be x equals to minus 3. Now the main awaited topic for today, which is slope point form to find equation of a line. Let's see what a slope point form is. This is a slope point form. As we know that to find a equation of a line by using slope point form, we need two things, slope and point. We need two things, slope and point. Suppose let's say the point is x1 comma y1 and the slope is m. Then what will be the equation? It will be y minus y1 equals to m times x minus x1. Come on. What is the equation? Oh, sorry. What is the equation of this line? Just substitute the values. So this point is x1, y1 and this is m. So let's substitute. I'll get y minus of minus 4 is equals to minus 2 by 3 x minus 3. Let us cross multiply. So I'll get 3 into y plus 4 is equals to minus 2 into x minus 3. So that means 3y plus 12 is equals to minus 2x plus 6. If I take everything on the left hand side, I'll get 2x plus 3y plus 6 equals to 0. Simple. This is just an example for you all to understand that how to use the formula. Always keep in mind, to use the slope point form, we need slope and point. Obviously, such questions will not be asked even in NCERT. This is just for understanding how to apply the formula. This is very simple note that if a straight line passes through origin, that means x1 and y1 both are 0 and 0. So if we put 0 and 0 in the slope point form, we'll get the equation as y equals to mx. Let's look at another form, which is 2-point form. As I said that every point, or sorry, every equation of line is derived from slope point form. So obviously 2-point form will also be derived from slope point form. So here is the equation. As you can see, it is same as slope point form. Why? Because we know that this is the slope. We have studied, derive भी किया था ना हम लोग ने. That's if a line passes through 2 points x1, y1 and x2, y2, then slope is given by y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. So as you can see, this equation reduces to slope point form, which is y minus y1 is equals to m x minus x1. So yeah, this is also the slope point form, but in another way, expressed in another way, which is in 2 points. Let's look at this example. Obviously, I told you in the starting only that I always prefer to find equation of line using slope point form. Whether or not I know or do not know the other forms, it is as good as knowing the slope point form. So yeah, slope point form we need slope. So let's find slope first. So let's say this is x1 and y1, and let's say this is x2 and y2. So what will be the slope, guys? Slope will be y2 minus y1. So minus 7 plus 3 upon 4 minus 2, which is minus 4 by 2, which is minus 2. What is slope point form? It is y minus y1 is equals to m x minus x1. So y minus will become plus 3 is equals to minus 2 x minus 2. So I'll get y plus 3 is equals to minus 2x plus 4. Let's move everything on the left hand side. So I'll get 2x plus y minus 1 equals to 0. Simple. So whether or not I know other forms, I always use slope point form to get equation of line. Got it? Now, let's see what we have next. And the next thing we have are questions. Come on. So I hope I don't need to solve all this question because I know you will solve it. So grab a pen and paper if you want. I think you are all in already in the like school after Diwali vacations, correct? So these are all simple questions. Obviously, we will like go from simple to more levels. We start with simplest of all. So let's say this is the question. I think you can do it mentally also, right? Such simple question it is. Let's see who gets the answer first. The value of x if the slope of this line is 2. So let's say this is x1, y1. This is x2, y2. Anyone got the answer? We have to use the formula of slope. Come on, guys. No one? What is the answer? No one? Still? Okay. 1. Yes. So let me solve it. Slope is basically y2. Let me write it. Slope is y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. And yeah, 1 you gave answer, right? So slope is given 2 is equals to 5 minus 3 upon, I think, oh, this is x1, y1, sorry. So I can say 5 minus 3 or 3 minus 5, anything you can write. So 3 minus 5 upon x minus 2. So I think this and this will get cancelled with minus 1. So x minus 2 equals to minus 1. So x equals to 1. Yes, right. Let's see the next one. Fatapat ekdam fast you have to do. Very simple questions. Come on, let's see who gets this. Inclination is here. Remember, whenever in a question we have to find equation of a line. I always prefer slope point form because that is the best available. Let's see how or what answer you get here. Here we already have the point x1 and y1. So we are currently looking for slope and this is theta. So what is the slope? Slope will be equals to tan theta. So I guess what will be the answer? No one. Slope will be tan theta, that means tan 135 degrees. What is tan 135 degrees? It is minus 1. So I got the slope, I got the point. What is the equation we have? Equation is y minus y1 is equals to m x minus x1. So let's substitute. Y minus 3 is equals to minus 1. X plus 2 it will become, right? So y minus 3 is equals to minus x minus 2. Let's take everything on left hand side. X plus y minus 1 equals to 0. Simple. Got it, guys? Is it clear? Give me a thumbs up if you understood this because nobody gave an answer. All good till here? Okay, okay. Very good. Yeah, let's see who does this. Come on. This is a nice, I mean, bit logical question it is. Let's see. Again, we have the point. We just need to find slope. This is the point, right? Now, equal angles meet with coordinate axis. Means the line will be like this. So this is 45 degree. This will also be 45 degree. We are interested in this, correct? So that means theta is 45. So tan theta is 1. And we know that, what's 1? And we know that if the line passes through origin, my equation is y equals to mx. So m is basically 1. So y equals to x is my equation. Simple, right? Let's see what we have next. Collinear points. I hope you know what is meant by collinear points. Collinear points means that all the points lie on the same straight line. So let me make a diagram here. Let's say A, B, C are collinear points. So A, B, C. So if these points lie on the same straight line, that means slope of AB should be equals to slope of BC. And if we got slope of both the lines or both the line segments same, then we can say these 3 points are collinear. That means they lie on the same line. Let's find out slope of AB. I'm not writing now x1, y1, x2, y2. Let's do it directly here. So I'll get 1 minus 5 upon minus 5 minus 5. That is minus 4 by minus 10. That is 2 by 5. What is BC? Let's say BC is 7 minus 5 upon 10 minus 5. Again, it is 2 by 5. So as you can see, both of them have the same slopes. That means they both lie on the same straight line. That means they are collinear. Let's see the next one. This is your very important question for your NCRT, because NCRTs, it's the favorite question here asked, and also many a times your state entrance exams, that also Karnataka CET, you can say that also. I think you are not from Karnataka. So whenever you say state entrance exams, that's in Karnataka we have Karnataka CET, in Maharashtra we have MHT CET, and so on. So this is the favorite type of question for state CET exams and your NCRT. Let's see what we can do here. So here first is median through A. So let's say we have this diagram. I hope you know what is meant by a median. Median means a line segment joining vertex of a triangle to the midpoint of opposite side. Let me repeat myself. A line segment joining vertex of a triangle to the midpoint of opposite side. So here, as you can see, vertex is A and D is the midpoint. How can I get D? D we can get very simply by using the midpoint formula. I hope you are aware of the midpoint formula. So let me write it here. How can we get D? D we can get from midpoint formula. What is midpoint formula? Add the x coordinates, divided by 2. Same add the y coordinates, divided by 2. So what do we get here? Minus 6 by 2 and 8 by 2. So what do we get here? Minus 3 comma 4. So basically here I have to find a line segment which joins A and midpoint of opposite side. That means I need to find equation of AD. Come on, let's see who gets the equation of AD first. Come on, I am giving you all a chance to solve. I'll give you 2 minutes, I think. After that, I'll solve it. Come on, let's see who gives the answer. Anybody? Remember, we have to find equation. What does equation means? Or what do we do when we have to find equation? We use slope point form. You can use any form, but I personally prefer using slope point form. Come on, let's see. First, find the slope. I can find the slope by y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. Did you all get it? You got the slope. Okay. Then what is the equation? Y equals to 4. Superb. Yeah. Let me tell you one, like we can directly get y equals to 4. Why? Because you can see the y coordinate is same here. If the y coordinate is same, you can imagine that what is the y coordinate? It is 4. So let's say minus 3 comma 4 is here and 10 comma 4 is here. So if I join this, I'll get a straight line parallel to x-axis. And what is the equation of straight line parallel to x-axis? It is y equals to y1. So here you can see y1 is 4. That means equation is y equals to 4. No need to use slope point form. I hope you understood this. So whenever we get 2 points A and D such that their y coordinates are same. Here also it was 4, here also it was 4. So that means that the line is parallel to x-axis because the y coordinate does not change. The y coordinate will remain as it is, only the x coordinates change. Correct, guys? Let's do the next one. Thank you, Anjani. Anjana. Sorry, Anjana, for giving the answer. Let's look at the next one. Do you remember the next one was altitude through B? Now, I hope you know what is meant by altitude. Altitude is height of a triangle basically. Now here we want altitude from B. So if I drop altitude from B, so let's say I got BE. So I need basically equation of B. Again, I will use slope point form. You can see here, I already have the point x1, y1. I need the slope of B. And you can clearly see from the diagram that BE is perpendicular to AC. BE is perpendicular to AC. So first, let's find the slope of AC. So AC का slope क्या होगा? 4 plus 1 upon 10 plus 2. So basically 5 by 12. Now, as we know, BE is perpendicular to AC. And we have studied that if two lines are perpendicular, then product of slope is -1. So by going by that logic, slope of V, do you remember how we used to do that? Negative reciprocal. So first, reciprocal this and then negative sign. So this is the slope. What will the equation? Equation will be y. Okay, let me give you one, you can say, observation that I observed about how to save time, or about how not to use the slope point form. Correct? So we can do that afterwards, I think, because we have not still introduced the concept of getting slope from equation of a line, right? No worries, we'll do that afterwards. So I'll get y minus 9 is equals to minus 12 by 5 x plus 4. If I cross multiply, I get 5y minus 45 is equals to minus 12x minus 48. If I move everything on the left hand side, I'll get 12x plus 5y plus 3 equals to 0. This is my answer. Correct? Did you understood this? Give me a thumbs up if it's all good. I think others are not giving answers, right? Only Anjana is giving. Thumbs up, so you all gave Turant thumbs up. But when I tell you to solve, you are not solving. Do you not have a pen and paper or anything like that? All good? Now I want each and every one of you all to try this question. The third one. Also, I am very generous, so I have drawn the perpendicular bisector, or I have drawn the diagram as well. So let me tell you, let this bisector be L. Let this bisector be L. Or let this line be called L. So basically, I require the equation of line L. Let's see who gives the answer first. I'm not solving this unless at least two of y'all give answers or solve. Copy नहीं करने का है कि बस हाँ, he said something, so I also said the same thing. Come on, solve it and give me an answer. Let's see who does it. L. First, we use slope point form, that is, get the slope and then point. Come on. It's very simple. Just try to get slope and point. Let me tell you, D is a midpoint. So we can get the point D by midpoint formula. How can we use the midpoint formula? Still no one? So let me use the formula here only. What is the midpoint formula? Add upon 2. So 10 minus 4 upon 2 and here 4 plus 9 upon 2. So basically I'll get 10 minus 4 is 6 by 2, 3. 4 plus 9, 13 by 2. This is my point. And same thing I will do. L is perpendicular to AB. So I can use product of slope minus 1. So let's first get slope of AB. Slope of AB is 9 minus 4 upon minus 4 minus 10. 5 upon minus 14. And we have the point here. So let's see what we get. We'll get y minus y1, right? This is the point, x1 comma y1 is equals to slope into x minus 3. Let us cross multiply. So I get 14y minus. I think 14 will get cancelled and 13 sevens are. Right now, 13 sevens are. 91, 1378. So minus 5x plus 15. Let's take all on one side. So 5x plus 14y minus 106 equals to 0. Here's my equation. Simple. So I think we have done enough of straight line for today. The rest of the forms, which is the slope intercept form, slope double intercept form, we will be going to a normal form. We'll do in the next lecture. So our target for the next lecture is to complete the remaining forms, which are slope intercept form, slope double intercept form, and the normal form. So we'll do that next time, and we also see some questions based on that. After that, we'll see what we'll cover in the portion. As you all know the portion of straight line. So till then, bye bye everyone. Take care. Bye guys. Bye bye. Tata. Bye. You never even greet, like not good evening also, bye bye also. Okay, let's stop it.